Imagine turning your real estate hustle from a stressful money drain into a consistent cash flow machine. That's exactly what I did. I'm going to reveal how I tripled my profits by making one simple shift. By the end of this video, you'll understand why building new rental properties is more profitable than flipping homes and renovating homes to rent, and how you can leverage your construction expertise to create passive income streams that work even when you are not. I was once caught in a whirlwind of flipping homes, dealing with unpredictable renovation costs, market fluctuations, and constant stress trying to turn distressed properties into profitable rentals. After making the switch to building new rental properties from scratch, I've helped countless builders achieve stable, long-term profits. Trust me, this strategy changed my life. Before I dive into the details, I put together a free PDF called Own Your Next Project. Build to Rent Wealth strategy that outlines the exact steps you need to take to transition from flipping and renovating to building new rentals. Click the link in the description to grab it and start maximizing your real estate profits today. Maybe you thought rehabbing properties to rent them out would be the answer. After all, you understand construction better than most investors. You can see past the surface issues and estimate repair costs accurately. You figured you'd buy distressed properties, use your expertise to renovate them efficiently, and rent them for steady cash flow. But here's what nobody told you about renovating older properties for rentals. Every project becomes a money pit. What looks like a $30,000 renovation turns into $50,000 when you start opening up the walls. You discover electrical that needs complete replacement, plumbing that's been patched for decades, and structural issues that weren't visible during inspection. Meanwhile, your money's tied up for months while you're dealing with these surprises. You're burning through cash reserves, your credit lines are maxed out, and you're losing sleep worrying about whether you'll have enough capital to finish the project, let alone the next one. Let me break down what a typical renovate to rent project really costs when you're using your own money. Purchase price, $120,000 of your own money. Planned renovation, $30,000 of your own money. But then reality hits. Surprise electrical wiring, $8,000 of your own money. Hidden plumbing issues, $6,000 of your own money. Structural repairs, $5,000 more of your own money. And what do you get for that $169,000 investment? Maybe a $1,600 per month rent because tenants know that they're getting an older property that's just been fixed up. Your cash on cash return is maybe 6 to 8%, and that's before factoring in ongoing maintenance headaches, vacancy periods, and all the time you're spending managing problems instead of building your business. But here's the real killer. While your money's tied up in that one property for 8 to 10 months, you can't take on other projects. You're essentially putting your entire building business on hold because you don't have the capital to do anything else. I want to talk about something that hits close to home for builders like us. The financial strain and burnout from having your personal funds tied up in projects is brutal. You're working excessive hours, dealing with unexpected costs, and watching your cash flow disappear while you wait for the rental income that barely covers your expenses. You started building because you wanted financial independence and time freedom. Instead, you're more trapped than ever. You can't afford to take a vacation because you need to watch every dollar. You can't invest in growing your business because every penny is tied up in properties. And you sure as hell can't sleep at night knowing that one major repair could wipe out months of rental income. I remember sitting in my truck at 2 a.m., looking at a flooded bathroom in one of my rental properties, knowing I'd have to come up with another $12,000 I didn't have to fix water damage from a 40-year-old pipe that burst. I was exhausted, financially stressed, and started to wonder if I'd made a huge mistake getting into rental properties. That's when I realized there had to be a better way. And what I discovered didn't just save my business, it transformed everything. Here's what changed everything for me. Instead of buying someone else's problems and using my own money to fix them, I started using construction experience to build brand new rental properties from scratch. But here's the key. I learned how to do it using other people's money instead of my own. Think about it. You already understand construction costs better than any other investor. You know how to manage projects Work with contractors and deliver quality builds on time, on budget. These skills make you incredibly valuable to private lenders and joint venture partners who have money but don't have your expertise. The build-to-rent model combined with strategic financing was a complete game changer. Instead of renovating old properties with endless surprises, I build new. Instead of using my own money and limiting growth, I use other people's money and scale faster. Instead of dealing with constant maintenance calls, I build properties that require minimal maintenance for years. Here's why this works so well for builders. You eliminate all the unknowns. No surprise repairs, no hidden issues, no outdated systems. Everything is new, under warranty, and built to your specifications. You could design these properties specifically for rental efficiency and tenant appeal. And most importantly, you preserve your own capital for growth and opportunities. Let me show you the numbers that made me completely abandon renovating to rent properties. Here's my first build to rent project using strategic financing. Total project cost, $200,000. My money invested, $40,000. That's 20% for the down payment. Private lender money, $160,000. Monthly rental income, $2,600. Annual gross income, $31,200. Annual expenses, $9,400. Annual net cash flow, $21,800. Now here's where it gets interesting. My cash on cash return on that $40,000 investment was 54.5%. Compare that to the renovate to rent property where I had $169,000 of my own money tied up for an 8% return. But wait, it gets better. Because I only used $40,000 of my own money instead of $169,000, I could do 4 more projects with the capital I saved. 4 properties generating $21,800 each equals $87,200 in annual cash flow. Meanwhile, with the old model, I can only do 1 property at a time because my money was tied up. So instead of $87,200 in cash flow, I was making maybe $11,000 from 1 renovated rental. That's how I tripled my profits. Not by working harder, but by working smarter and leveraging other people's money to multiply my results. I want to remind you about that PDF guide I mentioned to you earlier. It contains everything we've covered today, plus detailed worksheets for analyzing rental markets, financing templates, and my proven property design strategies. If you're tired of having your own money tied up in projects and you're ready to learn how to scale using other people's money, this guide will save you months of trial and error. The link is in the description. Grab it now while it's still fresh in your mind. Here's something most builders don't realize about new construction rentals. The quality of tenants you attract is completely different. When potential tenants see a brand new property with modern finishes, energy efficient systems, and contemporary layouts, you're attracting a different caliber of renter. I can charge premium rents because tenants know they're getting something special. My build to rent properties rent for 15 to 20% more than comparable older properties in the exact same area. Tenants are willing to pay for new appliances, modern electrical that can handle their devices, efficient HVAC systems that keep utility costs low, and peace of mind that comes with everything being new. Premium tenants mean lower turnover, fewer damages, more consistent rent payments, and virtually no maintenance calls for the first few years. When someone's paying $2,600 for a brand new rental, they treat it like their own home. Compare this to tenants in renovated older properties. They know that they're getting someone's fixed up project, so they expect issues and they're not willing to pay premium rents. You're constantly dealing with maintenance calls because older systems break down and turnover is higher because tenants don't feel like they're getting premium value. As a builder, you have massive advantages in the build-to-rent space that typical real estate investors can only dream of. While other investors are trying to learn construction from scratch or paying premium prices for contractors, you already have the most valuable skills in the business. You understand true construction costs, not the inflated prices that investors pay. You know how to avoid cost overruns and change orders that kill investor profits. You have relationships with suppliers and subcontractors who trust you and give you better pricing. You understand building codes, permitting, processes, and how to avoid costly delays. But here's your biggest advantage. You can partner with private lenders and present them with a complete package. You bring the expertise, they bring the money. You can show them detailed budgets, realistic timelines, and proven track records of completing projects on time and budget. Private lenders love working with experienced builders because the risk is much lower. They'd rather lend money to someone who knows construction inside and out than a typical investor who's learning as they go. Here's where your construction knowledge becomes incredibly valuable. Private lenders and hard money lenders are eager to work with builders who can present professional construction budgets, realistic timelines, and proven ability to deliver quality projects. I've been able to secure financing at rates that typical investors can't get because lenders see me as lower risk. They know I understand construction. I have contractor relationships, and I can solve problems that would derail other investors' projects. Many of my private lenders now approach me with deals. They have money sitting in low yield investments, and they'd rather lend it to me at 10 to 12% on projects they know I can execute successfully. It's a win-win. They get better returns and I get access to capital without tying up my own money. This is how you scale beyond what your personal savings account allows. Instead of being limited to one project at a time, you can have multiple projects running simultaneously using different sources of capital. While typical investors are dealing with contractor delays and quality issues, you can ensure your build-to-rent projects stay on schedule and meet the exact specifications. This means faster completion times, lower carrying costs during construction, and higher quality properties that demand premium rents. I've seen builders complete build-to-rent projects in 5 to 6 months, while typical investors take 10 to 12 months for the same work. That's literally double the efficiency, which translates to higher returns and faster portfolio growth. Your quality control also means lower maintenance costs and happier tenants. When you build something right the first time using quality materials and proper techniques, you don't get callbacks and warranty issues that plague investor projects built by the lowest bidder. The question I get most from builders is, how do I get started without risking all of my own money? The answer is strategic financing and partnerships. Start by identifying potential private lenders in your network. These could be successful business owners, retirees with IRAs and 401ks, or other real estate investors who are tired of low returns in traditional investments. You'd be surprised at how many people have money sitting around in savings accounts earning 1% and would love to earn 10 to 12% on secured real estate investment. Present them with a complete package, detailed construction budget, timeline, market analysis, and your track record as a builder. Offer them a secured investment with a clear exit strategy and competitive returns. Many private lenders will finance 80 to 90% of the project costs, meaning you only need to invest 10 to 20% of your own money. This preserves your capital for multiple projects and dramatically improves your returns. Choose your markets carefully. Look for areas with strong rental demand, growing job markets, and limited new construction. You want markets where there's a clear premium for new construction rentals over older properties. Design your property specifically for rental efficiency and tenant appeal. Open concept layouts that feel spacious and modern. 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, which hits the sweet spot for most rental markets. Practical features like oversized garages, adequate storage, and covered outdoor spaces that tenants value. For finishes, focus on durability and tenant appeal rather than luxury. Luxury vinyl plank flooring that looks great but is waterproof and scratch resistant. Quartz countertops that are virtually indestructible. Quality, but not premium appliances that tenants expect. The goal is to maximize both tenant satisfaction and long-term profitability. To scale this model, you need systems for everything: financing relationships, construction management, tenant screening, and property management. Develop standard plans that work well in your market and that you can permit quickly. Create template budgets and timelines that you can customize for each project. Build relationships with multiple private lenders so you're not dependent on one source of capital. Most importantly, treat this like a business from day one. Track your numbers, analyze what's working, and continuously improve your processes. The goal is to create systems that generate passive income while preserving and growing your capital for expansion. Let me quickly recap what we've talked about today. 3 years ago, I was a financially stressed builder with my own money tied up in renovate to rent projects, working 70 plus hours, dealing with constant maintenance issues, and barely building any real wealth despite all of my hard work. Today, I have a portfolio of brand new rental properties generating 6-figure annual cash flow, built using other people's money, requiring minimal maintenance, and giving me the time freedom and financial security I originally got into building to achieve. The switch from using my own money to renovate old properties and using other people's money to build new properties didn't just triple my profits. It gave me back my life and eliminated the financial stress that was killing me. As a builder, you have every advantage you need to make this transition successfully. So here's a choice you have to make. You can keep doing what you're doing, using your own money, dealing with renovation surprises, managing constant maintenance issues, and limiting your growth to whatever capital you can personally invest. There's nothing wrong with that choice, but ask yourself honestly, is it getting you where you want to be? Or can you take the construction expertise you've already developed and redirect it towards building true wealth through new construction rentals financed with other people's money? You can create premium rental properties that command top rents, require minimal maintenance, attract quality tenants, and multiply your growth potential. The opportunity is there. Private lenders are looking for experienced builders to partner with. The market rewards new construction rentals with higher rents and better tenants. You have the skills and credibility to succeed. The only question is, will you take action? If you're ready to stop using your own money and start building rental wealth with strategic financing, here's what I want you to do right now. First, grab that free strategy guide. It's packed with actionable information you can start implementing immediately. Second, I want you to watch this video right here where I break down exactly how to find and approach private lenders. It will show you the presentation template I use, the questions I'll ask, and how to structure deals that work for both parties. The comment section is always open. Let me know your biggest challenge with cash flow and financing right now, and I'll do my best to help. Until next time, keep building wealth, not just tying up your own money.